Yes? Then you'll have 2 minutes here. Please proceed. I think you had 3 minutes.
Okay, my name is Jim Rigby. I'm a Presbyterian minister here in Austin. We're a sanctuary church, so we know very much what it is like to have people who are vulnerable in the community. I know that people are absolutely sincere when they say that this contract is open and transparent and has accountability. But when you're a person of power in a community, those words mean something very different than when you're vulnerable in a community. And I'd like to do a thought experiment where imagine that you were in a community where you were a minority population, a vulnerable population, and when you turned to YouTube, you saw somebody like you that got shot a lot. And it didn't seem like people ever got in trouble for that. Now imagine you moved to a city and they said that they were transparent and accountable. And by that meant that if somebody shot somebody from your family, that they would have 48 hours to get their alibi straight. Who else in the community gets to do that? Who else in the community gets to go through the evidence that's going to be used against them to see what their storyline needs to be? Who else, when you say that there's accountability, would only have an advisory role in terms of if they wanted to call you to account, instead of being able to actually arrest you or even investigate you, could only give advice to the agency that the person worked in that shot your family? The reason I'm taking this trek is that our country is torn apart right now, and we don't trust one another. And the only answer to that is genuine accountability. And what that means is being able to see the inner workings. When you're a powerful part of the community, that feels very different than when you're under somebody else's heel. So I think Austin, I love the idea of the police being able to do well financially. I love the idea of them being safe. But I think Austin is a model community, and that when we talk about transparency, when we talk about accountability, we should set a model for the entire nation. Not only that the powerful are comfortable, but the people who live in terror when they send their children out simply to go through the streets should know that the community is what watches over law enforcement and calls them to account. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you'll vote against this.
Thank you.